Aloha everybody and welcome back to part 4 of Sonic Forces. Now it's time to fight the new big bad. It's time to fight Infinite.
This wasn't part of my agenda, but I'm always happy to crush a hero. It keeps the rabble in line, shows them that there is no hope.
Does anyone but you believe your lies?
See, he's ready.
Time to tag out, Silver. I got it from here.
Well, look who's back from the dead. The little blue savior. But what's that I smell? You reek of fear. Glad to see I left an impression.
That's not fear. I ran all the way over here. And you haven't left an impression. I don't know anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite, in the brief moments that remain to you.
Oh, great. See, Infinite? Now we're getting to know each other. So, what's your favorite color? Do you like long, romantic walks on the beach? What's the source of your power? You can skip the first two questions if you like.
The source of my power is none of your concern.
Sorry, but you've just got to share the secret of your power with me. I insist.
You're insisting is futile.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sonic, you okay?
I'm no detective, but I think I know the source of his power. That sound effect is awfully familiar. But yeah, folks, this is Infinite, the new big bad. He's voiced by Liam O'Brien, and oh my god, what a voice. This is one of my favorite new Sonic villains, just because of how edgy Infinite is. Like, people always say Shadow the Hedgehog is edgy, and let's be honest, he was only really over the top in 2005's Shadow the Hedgehog, really. In Sonic Adventure 2, I wouldn't even call Shadow that edgy, but this is what people think of when they think of edgy Shadow. Just completely angsty and trying way too hard to be intimidating and really saying a lot of pretentious stuff. Either way, folks, with this boss fight, I pick up some Wisp capsules in order to get some boost. I constantly boost up to him, homing attack him, boost up to him, homing attack him, and I'm always interrupting his attacks. I'm always interrupting those red cube effects so that they never really have any chance to affect me, because I just keep homing attacking this guy, and then I just get to the end of the trail, attack all of his clones, and then whop him one, and yeah, that's it for Infinite.
Impossible. Your abilities exceed your previous data.
Unlike mechs, I can grow. I get more powerful every second.
I will teach you to hold that tongue next time. You can count on it.
You gotta love the branding, because on the bottom of Infinite's shoes is an infinity symbol. And I believe he had those shoes before he met Eggman, at least according to the flashback cutscene. So, that's amazing. That's amazing. Also, something about that boss fight that's kind of interesting. If you do get hit by the red cubes, the screen will actually be tinted red, and then you'll be seeing a whole bunch of new projectiles and stuff that weren't there before. A whole bunch of lasers that you'll need to dodge and stuff. Almost like you've entered some weird virtual reality space. It doesn't drastically change the scenery or anything. You're still running around on a snake in this casino forest, but just something worth mentioning. I didn't get hit by it because, well, I'm the great Clement, but Infinite does have a little bit of a weird trickery thing going on.
Well, you've improved since the last time, but you will still lose. As I predicted, you're not even worth the effort to finish off.
I gotta figure out the secret of his power.
Not really, we still kicked his ass, and he did just run away, so, you know.
I failed Sonic. Well, I mean this world, Sonic. And Eggman's monster got him. But you're here now. It's like the world needs a Sonic. Any Sonic to keep things in balance. If we defeat Eggman, this war will be over. And if we can figure out the secret to his power, maybe we can get you home. Hey, The sensor is picking up Eggman! Let's hurry!
Meanwhile, let's rejoin with Classic Sonic in Green Hill, Green Hill.
We've got to find Eggman quick! Let's see. The reading I picked up was through this way. This area is still relatively undamaged. The enemy is here somewhere. You better be on your guard, Sonic.
By the way, a lot of people hate Classic Sonic's theme songs. Oh my god. So, you know, I would think being a continuation of Sonic Mania for this character that, like, why don't you get T. Lopes, the guy who composed Sonic Mania's music, to do Classic Sonic stages? Instead, they opted to go for this weird Sega Genesis retro kind of feel with a lot of Sega Genesis-y instruments and stuff. Something they didn't do with Sonic Generations, when you think about it. Because, like, you think about, like, Crisis City Act 1, that wasn't a Sega Genesis track. That was, like, hardcore rock and guitar and stuff. And with this, they decided to go Genesis-y, and oh man, I will say the compositions are great, like the actual melodies and the songwriting is good. It's just the Genesis instruments that really make it sound like a weird screeching duck or something, and it's pretty bad. It's not the greatest thing in the world, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't particularly like listening to Classic Sonic's music, and yeah. Something else I missed from Generations, you know how in Generations you could actually hold the left button in order to instantly turn on a spin dash? It was just like the Sonic Adventure games. There was one button you could push to initiate a spin dash. You didn't have to hold down and then rev the character up like in every other Sonic game. And that was something you could do in Generations. I loved it, especially for speed runs. But, in Sonic Forces, you don't have that ability. You still got the drop dash from Sonic Mania, and I am grateful that there is a drop dash. But man, I really want that spin dash where you just hold a button and Sonic's immediately in ball form. So you don't have to worry about pushing down, you don't have to worry about stopping on a dime. Because, like, you usually have to stop on a dime if you want to do the spin dash. Whereas in Generations, if you were running anywhere, if you push the spin dash button, Sonic just stopped wherever he was. And by the way, there is a 5th red ring right on screen there. I can't get it. I've tried to replay the stage over and over again. There was no way for me to get all 5 red rings, so, yeah. Curse you, Classic Sonic level design. Curse you. So yeah, that was a stage. The music. People hate that Green Hill theme song. Oh my god. Still, you know, at least they didn't just do another Green Hill remix like they could have easily have done. They made a new composition, so that's something, I guess. Bandana, police uniform, or military uniform, John Cena wristband. You can't see me. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Word life. But now we got another boss fight in Green Hill, ladies and gentlemen. And this time, it's against Eggman.
And with that, the disposal of the Phantom Ruby prototypes is complete.
It was a defective model. It could only record the DNA of the one that triggered it.
Only a being with my strength of will could ever activate it.
It doesn't matter now with the lab locked down in Mystic Jungle. Which reminds me, didn't you run into Sonic there after he escaped?
Yes, but he was powerless against me. There is no need for concern.
You let the hedgehog live? That is a great source of concern!
For you, perhaps. He has beaten you for decades, yet I defeated him in our first encounter.
Phantom Ruby prototypes? And Sonic is alive?
What is it?
Nothing. We move forward with the plan.
Of course! When it's complete, the resistance will be erased. The world will be nothing but ashes, from which a glorious Eggman Empire will rise.
And the resistance will yield to the Phantom Ruby's power. All will submit.
What? You! I don't have time for this.
So yeah, you probably guessed it. Infinite has the Phantom Ruby from Sonic Mania. But now we're gonna take on Dr. Eggman in his Eggmobile sporting the ball and chain, or I guess the spiked ball and chain this time. Ooh, it's so different. It's the same boss fight you remember from Sonic 1 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic Advance and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, because it was also in that. But don't worry, he brings out another rehashed boss fight, the Egg Dragoon! Yeah, because we fought that in Unleashed, we fought that in Generations, and now we're fighting it again. You know, I'm going to be honest, when I saw this during E3, because they showed off this boss fight at E3 2017, and I remember thinking, like, really? You dusted off the Egg Dragoon again? You're using that model again? Okay, the boss fight's not that, like, samey as compared to the previous Egg Dragoon boss fights. You have to knock the balls back into him, like the iron balls, and you have to dodge his drills and stuff. And, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not terrible or anything. I like dodging the gunfire. Woo! But, still, it is, Egg Dragoon and Ball and Chain, you know? If Classic Sonic was a late addition that they put into the game really late in development, I could see why they made these really old school, really regular boss designs. I don't know. Still, I kind of like the Egg Dragoon boss theme. I actually like the theme that we're listening to right now. It's pretty catchy. It's one of the few Genesis-y, you know, pieces in this game that I actually appreciate, so I'll give credit where credit's due. I like this track. It's fun. Very fun.
It would be a challenge to crush you here, anyway. I'll round up the entire resistance sooner or later. Just you wait.
And just like that, the Egg Dragoon has been beaten by both Sonic, his Werehog form, as well as his classic self, which Eggman doesn't seem to notice as being a kind of weird phenomenon. He doesn't strike it odd that classic Sonic is here. This guy he's been fighting for over decades, according to Infinite. Sonic the Hedgehog is still 16 years old. He is absolutely still 16 years old, but either way, I'm still getting a whole bunch of Avatar clothing pieces. Oh my lord, there are so many unlockable clothing options in this game. There's going to be a lot to show off when I take a look at all of them in the extra video. Oh boy.
Look at you, fighting like you've got a chance to win. It's adorable. Almost makes me feel bad that we're never going to do this little dance again. In just 3 short days, my plan will eliminate the bothersome lot of you.
Wait, 3 days? And what plan?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise. You know what they say, the anticipation of the end is worse than the end itself. Maybe not in this case, though.
Guess what, Sonic heroes? In 3 days, I'll conquer the world! Think you can stop me? Sorry, but, yeah, folks, before we leave today, I want to comment on one thing about the first cutscene we saw with Infinite. Were you listening to the music in the background? Because that was Infinite's theme song. Infinite has a glorious, over-the-top, schlocky, like, cheeseball theme song that is so reminiscent of, like, the Sonic Adventure days. And you know what my biggest problem with Sonic Forces is? It doesn't have a sound test. There's no way to just play individual songs and listen to them on your downtime, like I used to do with the Sonic Adventure games. I would just put on Eggman's theme, or Shadow's theme, or Rouge's theme, or any of the stage tracks, and I would just listen to them as I was doing homework during high school. And unfortunately, Sonic Forces does not have a sound test. And that cutscene that we saw at the beginning of this video is the only time you hear Infinite's theme song. That boggles my mind. If you weren't following any of the trailers, any of the promotional material leading up to this game's release, and you're playing this like a few years after Sonic Forces has come out, like, you would never know about this glorious song aside from that cutscene, and you would never hear the full version of it and it's so over the top, it's so cheesy and edgy, and it's that Sonic schlock that I love about the adventure games, you know? This theme song's incredible, and I cannot move on without showing it off. I have to play Infinite's theme song right here and now, so we're gonna leave off with that. Enjoy this Sonic schlock. I love it.